I want to turn this old van into a cozy camper for traveling, on a limited budget and with only basic mechanical skills.
The story begins with choosing the vehicle. My budget for the purchase was only $1,000. For that money, I was only coming across cars that either didn't run or had critical damage. After visiting the car market, I got even more disappointed. $15, $10, $2,500. Every offer was far beyond my budget, but one day, while walking past an impound lot, I noticed it, a very unusual and seemingly abandoned van. Since it had been standing there for a long time, the price might turn out to be quite attractive. The only problem was that cars aren't sold here. I made an agreement with the guard to go inside and take a closer look at the van. That's when I realized this was exactly what I was looking for. I left a note with my phone number on the windshield and just had to wait. After some time, I got a call.
Hi.
Hello, I found a note with a phone number on the van.
I immediately rushed to the impound lot. After waiting a bit, a man approached me. He turned out to be the owner of the van. It turned out the vehicle had ended up there due to unpaid fines, and it had stayed for so long because it also had technical issues the owner couldn't figure out. But after we told him about our idea, we still managed to convince him to sell us this van for exactly $1,000. What followed was a long process of clearing fines, handling paperwork, and finally the keys were in my hands.
Let's go check out what we bought.
This is a 1993 Nissan, a reliable Japanese vehicle. From the outside, it's obvious the car has been sitting here for a long time because it has literally sunk into the ground and is covered in a thick layer of dust. There's clearly a lot to do around this van. Inside, the situation isn't any better. There's plenty of space, but it's covered in everything imaginable. Cigarette butts, old belongings, trash. Hopefully there are no mice living here. All of this was scattered inside. The rear seats fold down in just a couple of movements, turning it into almost a full camper van.
It would be very boring.
Despite its age, the body is in fairly good condition. The underbody has no holes, only some rust in places, and nothing serious on the top, just small dents and scratches. The visible issues include a flat tire, and some parts look like they were about to fall off or weren't even in their proper place. Let's take a look under the hood.
There are no hood.
In this Nissan, the engine is located right under the seat. It's a 2-liter diesel engine, a simple and reliable unit capable of reaching around 1,000,000 kilometers. The oil was black, but at least it was there.
Let's start the engine.
Turning the key did nothing. Not even the dashboard lights turned on. After sitting for so long, the battery was completely drained. Let's try starting it with a jump starter. We connect the device and the dashboard lights up. We turn the key. The starter works, but the engine doesn't. Most likely there isn't enough fuel. We add a couple of liters of diesel into the tank. The gauge moves up slightly, second attempt. And yes, there are signs of life. The engine runs for a moment, then refuses to start again. Under one of the seats, I found a can of lubricant. We try spraying it into the engine and then starting it again. It works. The engine starts and immediately smokes up off the impound lot, probably due to how long it had been sitting.
Here it is Japanese quality.
While the engine is warming up, we plug a compressor into the outlet and inflate the flat tire. Next, we reinstall missing parts. They were scattered all over the cabin. And anything that was about to fall off, we securely tighten. The vehicle is ready to leave the lot. The trip home is about 50 kilometers. This mini journey will show whether I bought the right vehicle for a camper or not.
Let's go.
The van started moving with difficulty, but it managed to leave under its own power. It's my first time driving a minibus, and the feeling is extremely unusual. It feels like you're controlling an entire building. I can already feel this will become an excellent camper. For a moment, I even felt like a bus driver.
Be made for travel.
The first kilometers went without any issues. The engine runs steadily and the suspension doesn't fall apart. I can confidently say the van justifies its price. At some point, the route became quite boring, and and I decided to test the top speed. I press the pedal and the car slowly starts accelerating. The naturally aspirated diesel without a turbo doesn't do it very quickly, but the speedometer needle still climbs. I think it's not the only thing moving. The coolant temperature is rising rapidly. I immediately let off the gas and pulled over to the shoulder. After checking the engine, I noticed the coolant had boiled. I couldn't continue driving. It could destroy the engine. I let it run without load for a while. The temperature didn't drop, it kept rising. I shut off the engine. That's when the issues the previous owner never managed to fix finally showed themselves. I'm standing on the roadside with an overheated engine dozens of kilometers from home, and all I have are pliers and a few wrenches. I started stopping cars and made my way home. I grabbed a toolbox, a tow rope, and later returned with my friend in another car to my Nissan. It was still there, because who else would want a van with an overheated engine if not me? Now it was time to figure out what caused the overheating. First, we checked the thermostat. The housing was hot, but the outlet hose was cold. It seems it was stuck in a closed position, so coolant wasn't circulating properly. This can't be fixed on the roadside, so we had to tow the van to a service center. Didn't make the trip on its own, but now we're going to make sure it can go not just a few kilometers, but thousands. The vehicle goes onto a lift, and together with the mechanic, we begin a careful inspection. We notice some oil seepage, which is normal for a 30-year-old car, as well as a few worn rubber bushings. The main suspension components are in good condition. The radiator is also intact, just a bit dirty. We didn't find anything critical, which was a relief. Now we start the repairs. We drain the old oil. It definitely hasn't been changed in a long time. We also replace the oil filter. We clean all the dirt with a degreaser and install a new oil filter. Then we fill in fresh oil. There was no air filter available, so we thoroughly cleaned the old one and put it back. Next, we deal with the main issue. We open the thermostat housing. It turns out to be completely dry, and there's also not enough coolant. During the work, we temporarily plug the housing with a rag to avoid contamination and clean off the remains of the old gasket and sealant. We install a new thermostat and a fresh gasket. After that, everything is reassembled in reverse order. We add some coolant. Now the vehicle is serviced. The repair costs $70, and the camper's total value is now $1,070. We keep tracking all expenses to calculate the final cost at the end. After servicing, the car feels completely different. Now we can test the top speed. 80 kilometers per hour, 90 kilometers per hour, 100 kilometers per hour. After that, the needle refuses to go further, but the temperature stays normal. Off-road, the van also performs really well. Despite the rough terrain, it responds well to steering and handles bumps perfectly. The suspension absorbs everything smoothly. We even decided, just for fun, to cross a small river, which the camper handled easily. It will have many more trips like this in the future. After the test drive, we went to get a new windshield because the old one was cracked. The van is perfect for transporting parts like this. I immediately went to a glass replacement shop to install a new one. Just look at the stack of broken windshields here. A few hours later, the new windshield was installed. It cost another $90, but now it's much nicer to look through. Finally, we're heading home. But another problem appears. There's nowhere to keep the car. I have an overgrown backyard, so we'll set up a space there. We use a brush cutter to clear all the tall grass. Then I bought a ton of gravel and covered the cleaned area with it. It turned into a spacious platform where all future work will be done. We parked the van. Now it's time to work on its appearance. The body is covered in all kinds of dirt and the interior is still dirty too, but we'll deal with that later. For now, we go to an auto shop and buy everything needed to restore the car's condition. First, we thoroughly wash the body. We foam the vehicle. Wait a few minutes and rinse it off. Then we apply foam again and wash it with a sponge, removing all dirt. Unfortunately, the sponge doesn't remove bitumen stains. First, we treat the tar with a special cleaner. Then we take a cloth, knead it, and scrub the contamination. It gradually removes the dirt and absorbs it. A very effective way to clean bitumen. We also remove water spots from the glass using an abrasive cleaner. We rinse with water, dry it, and the car already looks much better. But if you look closely, you can still see many small scratches, chips, and deep marks. To hide them, we bought a paint marker matching the body color. We degrease the damaged areas and carefully apply paint. The color is almost identical and small chips disappear completely. For larger scratches, we use a different method. We apply paint to the start of the scratch and spread it with a plastic card across the surface. We repeat this across the entire body. In my opinion, it already looks much better. From 3 meters away, it looks almost perfect. We'll remove small scratches with polishing. We apply polishing paste to the pad and spread it over the surface. Then we turn on the tool and gently work on each section without strong pressure. It's better to work in small areas of about 30 by 30 centimeters for better results. The difference between polished and unpolished areas is obvious. We also attach a headlamp to the polisher. Under its light, it's easy to see which areas are done and which need more work. We don't forget the headlights either and restore their clarity with polishing. The result looks amazing. We repeat this process across the entire vehicle. The roof is also polished using a ladder. Polishing is done, but to preserve the effect longer, we apply a hard wax. We spread it in circular motions and then buff it with microfiber. The shine and depth of color improve significantly, and the body gets a protective layer against moisture and small scratches. We also apply rain repellent to the windshield, since weather on trips is unpredictable. We spread the product on the glass and buff it. To demonstrate the effect, we pour water on untreated glass and on treated glass. The difference is clearly visible. After detailing, the camper looks about 15 years younger. It shines like a mirror in the sunlight. The detailing cost $120, even though I did all the work myself. There is only one thing left that ruins the look of the camper.
I think these wheels don't suit this car.
I decided to buy new wheels along with new tires. With these wheels, the car will already look stylish, but we'll make them even more interesting. We sand the rims with a grinder, gradually changing sandpaper grit to achieve a perfectly smooth surface. After sanding, we degrease them because now we're going to paint them. I chose two colors. The edges are painted in chrome enamel. Once the painted parts dry, we tape them off with masking tape. The centers are painted in bright gold. For protection and extra shine, we apply clear coat over everything. The rims have completely transformed. This two-tone style is often seen in Japanese drift culture, and in my opinion, it fits this Nissan perfectly. We mount new tires and install the wheels on the car. Now the home is not just on wheels, it's on cool wheels. The design was definitely a success.
That's real style.
These wheels look like they were made for this camper. New wheels with painting and tire service cost another $250. For travel, you always need a lot of things.
In the future, there won't be any free space here.
That's why I bought this roof rack, which we securely installed. Later on, I'll install a solar panel behind it. The rack is strong and very spacious. It costs just $100. In travel, lighting is also important. The car has yellow headlights, which I think are a signature of old Japanese cars. I bought several LED lights that shine white. To match the project style, we covered them with yellow film. Now they also shine in a warm yellow tone. We mount them on the roof rack. Run the wires into the cabin, neatly route them under the interior trim, and connect them to power. I installed a switch. It looks factory made, and now we have an additional light source. It will help illuminate the road even in total darkness and still match the main headlights. This lighting upgrade cost another $50.
The first episode is over.
Admit it, I've done a lot of work on the vehicle. The technical condition of the van was restored for $70. The windshield was replaced for $90. Another $120 went to detailing. The wheels cost $250. I spent $100 on the roof rack and another $50 on lighting. At this stage, the camper already cost $1,680. In my opinion, all these expenses are completely justified. Just remembering how the van looked when I bought it, next, I'll be working on the interior, installing flooring, furniture, equipment, and much more.
We're already designing what will be inside the camper.
So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episodes, and of course, the journey with a $1,000 camper.